Yeah, to explain a little bit about housekeeping stuffs. Can you see my screen clearly? Okay. All right. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today for episode 2 of the Road to 25 Years of Kajian Bahasa Inggris webinar series. And then today's title is Beyond AI Tools, Designing Meaningful English Learning Experiences. And I'm Mega Wulandari. I'm a faculty member of the English Language Education Study Program, and I'll be chairing today's session. And then last week, yeah, we already, not last week, last Saturday, we had our first episode with Bapak Risang Baskara as the speaker. And it was a really nice walkthrough out of the Notebook LM. And also, we get more understanding about agentive AI. Okay. And today, we will have Mas Fajaruddin Akbar. Okay. And then we would like to talk about beyond AI tools, okay? So before we start, allow me to share a few simple housekeeping stuffs, okay? First, please keep your microphone muted throughout the presentation to minimize background noise. And then if your internet connection allows, you're welcome to turn on your camera during the discussion sessions because it's always nice to see friendly faces. And then during the Q&A session, feel free to share your questions anytime through the Zoom chat box while our speaker is presenting. And then we'll collect all questions and discuss them during the Q&A session. And then we will have 60 minutes of presentation from Mas Fajar, and then it's going to be followed by 20 minutes of discussion and Q&A. And then the next agenda, we will have a program spotlight. I would like to invite the head of the study program, Dr. Agustinus Hardi Prasetyo, who would like to introduce KBI from the faculty streams and the new AI track. And then at the end of the session, you will get a digital certificate. And then to receive your digital certificate, please complete the exit ticket at the end of the session. Okay. So we encourage everyone to maintain a respectful, supportive, and collaborative atmosphere throughout today's webinar. Okay. So today we're bringing a conversation on designing meaningful English learning experiences that go beyond just using AI tools. And then it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Fajaruddin Akbar. He is an English language teacher and educational technology practitioner. He's been everywhere. Yeah, just like Pa Agus has already mentioned, he's been everywhere. And you can see that he is not only affiliated with one institution, but he is affiliated through global affiliations. Yeah, because he is an ambassador for organizations including IELTA Indonesia, 100 Dork, and then Pearson. He is also founder of MOOC Guru, a platform offering open CPD, free English courses, and professional development resources for educators. Okay, it's very amazing. And he is also part of British Council and as well as U.S. Department State of Open Program. Very frequently, he become a facilitator and community lead, mentoring Indonesian English teachers. Okay, or you can learn more about him at fajaruddinakbar.online, or maybe we can just simply ask your AI, who is Fajaruddin Akbar, the English teacher? Yeah. All right. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Fajaruddin Akbar. Okay, Mas Fajar, thank you so much for being here today. So you have 60 minutes. Time is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mbak Mega, for the lovely introduction. It's an honor again to be here, invited by personally by my dear brother in academic, Mas Risang. I wonder if he's here, and also personally recommended by Pak Pras. Yeah, it's an honor again, Pak, and moderated by Mbak Mega. I know some good friends in ELT, also international fellows that I'm familiar with. A little bit more about myself, just to provide more context. I mostly teach online these days, And my teaching context is, oh, I'm an English language teacher. I know that Kajian Bahasa Inggris is not only about teaching, but I'm an English language teacher. I mainly teach English online these days. I teach English to corporate students, sometimes academics, like university students, exam preparation. However, I would like you to know more that my teaching context is mostly non-formal or informal, whichever you like to say the term. And yeah, I've collaborated with some organizations, institutions, communities, but mostly online. So I'm starting to share my screen. I hope it's visible. Well, the title looks promising, right? Beyond AI tools. And probably for some of you, or even a lot of you, well, another AI presentation, yay, another AI topic. Well, we just cannot avoid it. And probably that's why you're here, because you cannot avoid it. Again, it looks promising, and I hope that I can deliver. I've been working with, again, organizations that really care about teacher training, teacher education, and also materials writing, curriculum development. So if you are in teaching, thank you for joining. Or even if you are not in teaching, maybe in academic management, curriculum designing, or materials writing. That's why before we start, I would really like to know, what do you do in education? In the chat, please. What do you do in education? Do you teach? Are you a director of studies? Are you managing curriculum? So kindly let me know, so I know what relevant context or topics that I can talk about in this session. Okay, student, amazing. Lifetime student, forever student. Teacher, teaching English for adults. Freelance teacher. Interpreter, that's nice. Textbook, curriculum material developer. Okay, focal person. Business English. Okay. All right, program development specialist. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's say if I can make it generic, almost everyone joining in this session tonight or today is in education or related to teaching and training, whether it's in the classroom or outside the classroom. Okay. Awesome. Yes, our students, thank you. Thank you for coming. So what we are going to discuss is AI and beyond AI as a tool, and how we can see beyond AI as, a technology. Okay? We want to focus more on what we can do as a human in our profession, especially in this context in education. As a teacher, curriculum designer, managing curriculum, managing academics, and so on and so on. But we want to focus on us, on how we think, how we perceive this technology. Okay? And probably I would like to squeeze it a little bit, AI as a tool, AI as a technology in general, instead of seeing it as something different from technology. It's just another computer assisted language learning. It's just another technology assisted language learning. So we are not trapped in buzzwords or new trends only. Okay, that's why I would like to start with an experiment. We're going to do an experiment together. We're going to play with an experiment together. So I would like you to help me in this experiment. Anyway, my slide is just a showcase. You will receive it now. So in case you ask for it, you receive it now. You can open it, but it's just a showcase. I have also prepared this workflow, which I'm sharing now. You can open it now or later, because we're not going to focus on what I'm presenting. We want to focus on how we perceive my presentation and our discussion in this session, right? So I've made this easy to follow somehow workflow on what we are doing in this session. So again, we're playing with an experiment. So I would like to just say yes or no, or maybe even a reason or how, if you have ever heard or even played with this experiment. So the name of this experiment is Say What You Say. This is an AI experiment by Google. So please say yes or no if you know this in the chat. No? Okay, that's one no. Thank you for coming. No. 3 no's, 4 no's. Now I'm getting more confident because I know something new. I give you something new. Kidding though. Knew it from my previous session. Thank you so much for joining again. Okay, for those who don't know yet, now you know, we will know. Again, this is an AI experiment by Google. It's free. It's very easy to find. You can just go say what you say on Google or any search engine, and then you can find this. It's free. You need a Google account, but as we know, Google account is free. Okay, so I'm going to click launch experiment, and we're going to do again these experiments together. Again, the focus is not this website. The focus is not this tool. Okay, but how we perceive ourselves as the user. Are you ready to learn the art of prompting? Okay, please help me. What is prompting? So we have heard about this word, maybe read it somewhere, talk about it, but what is prompting? What does it mean by prompting in this discussion? Prompting. Please in the chat. What do you think is prompting? Guess, okay, follow, good. Hints, well, in terms related to AI. Text assistants, okay, give suggestions, giving inputs. Related to AI, what do you think is prompting? Providing instructions, triggering questions, guide for the AI. Okay, great, finding clue. So what we're going to see in this experiment is how prompting works and how maybe practically we can prompt better. Okay, I really like this experiment, and this will be very useful if you're an English teacher or teaching English and you teach writing. I'll click start level 1, and then this is what we see. Let me zoom in a bit. So you see there's an image, basically an image, a photo. And then anyway, this is AI generated. Okay, this is an AI generated image. And we have an example or an instruction, include information about the medium, subject, and context. So the example says the medium is a painting. Okay, we can say this is a painting of a dog. So dog is the subject here, not subject of a sentence, but subject of this painting, the subject of this image. And there is the context. So a simple context here in a view. Basically, if we see it as a lesson, this is a writing lesson, describing image. Simple thing, right? So our experiment here, we're going to experiment with describing image. Remember, the name or the title of the experiment is to say what you say. So we see an image, we have to say it. But in this context, we write it. Let's begin. Okay, so we have an image on the left. Again, this is an AI generated image. And we type a caption. Same thing. And remember the title, the experiment, say what you say. So I would like to know if you can say what you see in the chat. A Trojan horse, okay? Remember, include the medium, the subject, and the context. We just don't want to say a horse. Yeah, we know that's a horse, but how? Why? Where? Okay, what does it look like? What's the color of the horse? What is the horse doing? Okay? Try to make at least a sentence to describe the horse. Sculpt of a house, I think it's a horse, maybe a typo or spell check. A wooden horse toy on the table. A wooden sculpted horse. I think there's something that we can describe more. What is the horse doing? What is the wooden horse doing? Okay, I'm waiting. So let's see if we can actually say what we say. Can you actually describe what you are looking at? A picture of a wooden horse on the desk. Almost there. But again, would you like to be more details of how does the horse look like? Okay, it's a wooden horse. What is the wooden horse doing? A wooden horse with one of its front leg raised. I'll choose that one. Okay, let me copy your answer. Okay. Lifting its right front. Okay, from Bunia. Bunia was my lecturer in Karawang, in Unsika back in the day. Thank you so much. A painting of a brown horse lifting its right front leg, and we generate. So basically, it's a game of describing image. However, what makes it beyond that is in this experiment or in this game, we generate the image. So the goal is to see if you can actually deliver the ideas that you have in your mind into writing. So something else can understand what you mean. So it can imagine the same thing. If we think about it in a communication, how many ideas that we deliver to people, and have we ever thought that the people who listen to our idea has the same imagination as we have? So this is the experiment, and this is how prompting works. Okay, we want to describe what we have in our mind, what we think that we want, into a robot. Basically, a robot that don't have feeling. They don't have thinking. They're just lines of codes. So these AI tools, they're just lines of codes. They don't actually think. They don't actually have feeling. And imagine that we describe something not clearly, okay, to something that cannot even feel or sympathize for others. Okay. Now, if we think about it, if we communicate with human, do we or have we ever actually, deliver our ideas clearly so the other person or our partner can actually imagine what we mean? So that's what we do in this experiment. Well, you can really adapt this into a writing lesson. I usually use this for a warm-up writing lesson. Okay, well, do we have to use this website? Not really. You can just use another AI. You search for an image, ask the students to write the prompt into the AI. So let's see if they can describe it in detail so they can get a similar image. Can we do it without AI? Yes, of course. You can have like a group in pair, okay, a group in pair, one student with an image, or maybe they draw their own image, okay, and then the other students see the image, describe it, and see it to another student, and let's see if they can draw a similar image. So the AI that we want to think is to see is not only tools or technology, but the way of thinking. Okay, how we can understand the workflow of this new technology before we actually use them wisely or ethically. Right? We really want to get into how we can think beyond the tool. And of course, the goal is to make use of the tools better. So you see 42% match, so probably something's missing. Something's like, as example, white background. Okay, white background, because we didn't tell white background, so it came up with a background, maybe, I don't know, in their data. Okay, so that's what we want to do when we prompt an AI. We don't want the AI to make assumption of what we want. Imagine a time where you prompt an AI, this is not what I want. I didn't ask for it. Well, did you ask for something else? Okay. Did you ask for something that you actually wanted to have from the AI? So the AI know what you want. Okay. So again, we cannot expect the AI to assume what we want. We don't want the AI to make initiative of what we want. We are the user. We decide what we want from the prompt. Okay, so again, let's say what you see, it's free. You can play it. There will be more images. There will be more images, more level, and it will become more and more complicated. So your students, as example, there will be an abstract image like this, abstract image like that, and say if your students or you can actually describe something that you say, deliver your ideas into writing. Okay, so that's the experiment. Anyway, thank you for playing it with me. Now we're going to move on to something that I would like to promote, not commercially, this is free, is the GSA. So I would like you to say in the chat yes or no if you are familiar with the GSA. No, no, no. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay. But I believe you're familiar with the CFR, right? Please say yes. So are you familiar with the CFR? Like, what does the CFR stand for? Yes, yes, especially if you're an English teacher or working in English language teaching. So the GSA is, well, it's almost the same. So GSA is an extension for the CFR. While CFR, as we know, would you like to put it? Yeah, Common European, what? Common European Framework Reference. For the European language, English is included. While the CFR, not really. GS is not the Chinese one. So the CFR is brought into the European language. The GSA stands for the Global Scale of English. So the Global Scale of English is an extension to the CFR developed by Pearson. That's what I promote. So it's a more granular and specific into the English language skills in terms of descriptors. Oh, if you are in curriculum design, if you create your own materials, you will love this. So the GSA has GSE Teacher Toolkit, and this is free, no accounts needed. Okay, you will see this in, or you can just search GSA Teacher Toolkit. Okay, so the GSA Teacher Toolkit helps you find learning objectives. As we know, especially if we are teaching, if we are in curriculum design, we need to know the learning objectives before we design the materials, contents, or plan, or backward design, and so on and so on. So the GSE allows you to find 4 learning objectives that you can use or that you might need to develop your materials or lessons. Well, it has the CFR equivalent, A1 to C2, as we know. In the GSE, it's 10 to 90. All right, it's in CFR A1 or pre-A1 to C2. GSE, it's 10 to 90. Okay, so what you can do with the GSA is you can choose your learners. So who your learners are. In my case, my learners are adult learners. So let's say I choose adult learners and then choose skill. Like, okay, I would like to design a lesson for my adult learners in a skill of what? Language skills, as we know, listening, reading, speaking, writing, or communicative categories. So we have categories for communication. And recently, we have developed soft skills. We will see how it works. And a spoiler, this year we will launch AI integrated skills. But that's for another conversation, another session for you to join. So language skills, let's say, listening. Okay, I would like to teach adult learners. I would like to design a lesson, materials for my adult learners in listening. Okay, for listening. So you can adjust. So my learners, let's say they are at A2 level. Okay, so okay, I have adult learners at A2 level, and I would like to design listening lesson. And then you can click show results, and then it will provide you with learning objectives based on the GSA that is an extension of the CFR. Some are taken from the CFR, but also a little bit adjusted into only English. As example, can identify simple information, as we know, as a learning objective. And as a listening skill, this is the GSE level and the CFR level. Okay, you can find many of them. And even some will come, okay, this is related to the soft skill of collaboration. Right? And you can find more next page. As example, you see the results here. We have 23 learning objectives, and you can choose them. You can download them. Okay, so the tool is to help with designing learning or lesson. Okay, descriptors, correct. Well, adult learners listening, it's very common. Let's go with something even very specific. I teach professional learners. I have students who are accountants and then engineers and so on and so on. So we can even choose like professional learners. Or let's say I would like to design lessons for professional learners in terms of business skills. So we have business skills right here. So my professional learners, I need to teach them. I want to design a lesson for them so they can communicate in meetings. So let's say attend meetings, and then I click choose. And then probably at this level or at this skill, they need to be at a higher level. So my students are at B1, for example, and then I click show result. And if it has a result, it will come with the result. So can understand main information in the agenda for a work-related meeting. So that's the learning objective. And if you see this drop-down arrow, you can find, okay, this is useful for workplace, this is useful for communication. That is the GSA. Okay, we will see what we'll do with this. The thing is, this is free. And again, if you are in curriculum designing or designing your own lessons, this will be very helpful because we would want to know like the standard objectives that we can teach or students to aim. Not only learning objectives, it also comes with grammar. Oh, we love grammar in English language studies, right? So they have grammar categories. For example, I would like to teach modal verbs. I would like to teach modal of ability, and then click choose. My students is A1 to A2 plus, and then you click show results, and it will show the results in grammar. Oh, okay, so at this level, for these objectives, I can teach this. Okay, it has the example, it has the structure, it has learning objectives. And if you see this folder icon, you can click it, and then you can download free worksheet. Oh, we love free stuff, right? So you can find this, and it's free. again, it's free. It doesn't stop at grammar. It also comes with vocabulary. So as example, I would like to teach soft skills to adults. The grammatical categories is noun in the topic of communication. Just make it general, and then for any level, and then you click show result. There are 208 words that is relevant to this objective, and even it has topic 3. Okay, so this way, knowing that we have this tool, now well, again, the wonder of technology, right? It doesn't actually it doesn't mean that our work is done. No. Now we have a tool to do even better and beyond to what we can do in designing lesson. Or an extra, it also has text analyzer. Okay, so as example, you want to provide a text for your student, and if you want to see if the text is appropriate for the student's level, you can use this. We will see later. But for now, I would like to show you how we can use this idea. Okay, this is, well, it's AI generated, by the way, but it's my idea. How we can or we want to design meaningful English learning experiences. You can also share what you think is meaningful English learning experiences in the chat. How can English learning experiences be meaningful? What is meaningful in terms of English learning experiences? Okay. To my definition and principle, English learning experiences can be meaningful if it's relevant to the context. That's why I can use the GSE Teacher Toolkit to know the context, or to, let's say, know the standard of that context. Oh, my students is in accounting, so I would like to say the standard learning objectives in accounting. Okay? So we can select the learning objectives because we want to know a clear, backed up academic, okay, learning objectives. Like, well, it's good to know if we know our learners better, but still we need a support of what is proven. So that's why we want to use these learning objectives, whether it's the CFR or the GSA. Okay, and then what we want to do with the learning objectives is to embed it into an AI. Right? So we're going to use those learning objectives and embed it into prompts. So extract key elements for the prompt. And the next tool is, I know you know this, okay? But it doesn't limit the tool into ChatGPT. Okay, you can use Gemini, Copilot, DeepSeek, Grok, anything. Okay, because this is not about the tool. This is about how we use them. Okay, now I've already opened ChatGPT. By the way, I'm going to again go with the learning objectives, and I'm going to do something simple. I'm going to choose adult learners, and I would like to teach or design reading lesson. Okay, I would like to design a reading lesson, let's say for a B1 level learners, adult learners. And then I would like to say learning objectives that can give me ideas of what I can design. So we have can understand simple technical information, instructions for everyday equipment. Oh, my students can benefit from this because my students need to read instruction at their workplace. So I'll copy this learning objective. Okay. So we know that it's reading, it's for B1 level. I know my students are at B1 level. Okay. So we have the job profile and so on and so on. Now what I will do is go to ChatGPT. Well, I know that you have prompted a lot. I know that a lot of us have been very frustrated when we don't get what we want. However, the problem is sometimes we don't even know what we want. We don't have exact objective or standard of how we can measure the success of our prompt. As example, design reading quiz. But we don't actually imagine, okay, how I want my reading quiz. Or create reading comprehension text, but how I want my reading comprehension text. So how we use this learning objective is to set this as a standard. So let's say I want a reading text because it's a reading lesson. I want a reading text that follow this standard. So we have pre-ideas and post-ideas. Okay, we have free quality check and post-quality check. So this is my target. I would like to have a reading text following this. And then later, I need to check if the reading text generated by the AI actually follow this. So we want to have a standard or objective of what we want from the AI. Again, we cannot actually blame the AI. They don't actually have thinking or feeling, right? So let's say this is going to be a very simple prompt. I believe you can even prompt better following your ideas and objective. But let's say, okay, because I want a reading text, I will just say, create a reading text, right? Following this learning objective. Oh, this is a very lazy prompting. I don't suggest it. This is just an example. I didn't say it's A2, but it guessed it as A2. All right. Okay, that's okay. How to use self-service copy machine? I didn't say anything about copy machine because I didn't ask for it. Or maybe I don't want a copy machine, so put it into your prompt. Okay, but if we want to check it, if this text or the generated result is what you want, so you compare it to the learning objective. Does this learning objective actually satisfy the reading text that you will need to run a lesson to get this learning objective? Okay, so we need to have a standard for what we want from the AI to create. That's where learning objectives can help. Okay, whether it's the CFR, whether it's GSE, or maybe your curriculum learning objectives. Okay? But again, we want to perceive AI tool as a tool, and then we want them to create what we want. However, we need to be clear of what we want. We need to have an objective, and then we compare it. Can understand simple technical information. Okay, this is a technical information, how to use. Instruction. Oh, this is an instruction. First, next, then everyday equipment. Well, let's say copy machine is an everyday equipment. But my students don't use copy machine. That's where you know better about your student. Okay? Make it about how to use a printer. How to use a printer. A printer is a useful machine for printing document. First, check that the printer is switched on. Next, check the paper. Again, read it and see if it satisfies the learning objectives. Is this what you want according to the learning objectives that you want to follow? Okay. So again, we teachers, curriculum designer, we know our context best. We know our learners best. Okay. Oh, I want the reading to be about to follow the instruction on how to register for their KRS, for example, at my university. Or maybe how to use, how to use the new app that my faculty created. So that's how we design meaningful experience. That's how I define it. It's meaningful for them because they face it. It's relevant to their context. Again, this is a very, lazy prompt. Okay, you can edit. Oh, now I would like to have questions. Okay, create 5 multiple choice questions. Follow up with discussion questions and so on, and you name it. Okay, but again, it's not about what the AI gives you. It's about whether it's what you want to deliver in your lesson. Okay, so that's the idea. Beyond that, okay, well, getting reading is easy. Getting reading text is easy, especially for a lesson. How about another lesson? Okay, now we have another tool. This is Google AI Studio. Again, it's free. I'm not promoting this as a product. If you can find another similar tool that is free and easier for you to use, go on. But this is just an example that I've found and I've used so far. So in Google AI Studio, we can create multimodal resources, images, audios, videos, just like Notebook LM, but this is more adjustable. The tool that we're going to use in Google AI Studio is text-to-speech. Again, according to my experience, creating lesson, the hardest lesson to create is listening. Because, we can just search for YouTube videos. Sometimes that's too hard. Sometimes they're too easy. Sometimes it's not relevant to my lesson. I would like to teach my students on listening to a presentation at their workplace about accounting, for example. So that's where AI now can be exploited. Okay, so what you do here, you can go here, click. It's free. Again, first I will go to learning objectives because we are going to teach listening. I'm going to go with listening. learning objectives. Let's say I'm gonna make it easier this time. Let's say A2 level. And then we'll go with the show result and see what learning objectives we can find. Okay, so we have can identify simple information in short video, can understand excuses if expressed into language, can extract key factual information such as prices, times, and dates. Okay, let's go with this. Now just copy this. And again, we want to create or design, again, materials, right? So write a listening script, write a script following this learning objective. Okay, and then it's there. Again, this is a very lazy prompt. You might want to follow up with create a listening lesson following these learning objectives with 5 questions and so on, so on. How you like to design your lesson. Okay, so okay, we have an announcement. Very short because this is A2 level. But again, oh, this is for adult learners. Okay, it shouldn't be school. Okay, I want it to be work context, workplace context. Okay, so we have workplace context now. Even if you want to, oh, it says rupiah because you know my account is Indonesian based, right? If you want to make it like, oh, this is the name of the company, this is the name of the place, and so on and so on. Now again, we want to check, does this actually satisfy the learning objectives? Let me put the learning objectives here. Can extract key factual information such as prices. Okay, we have prices here. It does have prices. Times. Oh, it has times. Monday, Wednesday. Short, clear, simple announcement. Oh, this is an announcement. Okay. Now, what I do is to copy this script, because this is a script, and go with this. Now I'm going with text. Okay, so you paste the script here, and then I will paste the learning objective here. Okay. Let's see if I can share my sound. There it is. And you can choose your voice. Choose the voice as example.
What idea do you want to bring to life?
What sparks your interest?
What's a skill you'd like to develop?
Because this is like an announcement, so I would like it to be a little bit heavy.
Ready to make something amazing?
Okay. I will add context in Indonesia. Okay. Let's run control and we'll listen.
Attention, all staff. There will be a customer service training workshop on Friday, 24 July in Meeting Room 3. The workshop starts at 9:30 a.m. and finishes at 12:30 p.m. Please arrive by 9:15 a.m. for registration. The training fee is 150,000 rupiah per person. The company will pay 100,000 rupiah, so each employee only needs to pay 50,000 rupiah.
Like
Please register with the HR department by Monday, 20 July. Payment must be made by Wednesday, 22 July. For more information, please contact the HR department.
Okay, and then you can download it, save it, play it later in your lesson. Okay, I think my prompt was not clear enough. So let's say use Indonesian accent. And let's see what we can get. Okay, run control.
Attention, all staff. There will be a customer service training workshop on Friday, 24 July in Meeting Room 3. The workshop starts at 9:30.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's my connection.
Please arrive by.
But yeah, if it's done, you can later download it. Okay, you use Indonesian accents or maybe like another accent, different accents, and so on and so on. Okay, well, this is a monologue, right? But how about conversation? Can we do things with the conversation? Okay, let's go with the conversation. But yeah, you can put the context glad in English station. Awesome. So again, this is free. Now I will need to find a learning objective that can create a conversation context. Okay. Someone's appearance and clothes. I think this looks nice in a conversation. Right. Create a write a conversation script. Conversations. Following this learning objective. Okay, have you seen our new colleague, Mr. Harris? I don't think so. What does he look like? Because praise in description of someone's appearance, right? What does he look like? He has short black hair and clothes. What is he wearing today? Light blue shirt. So, okay, let's say it satisfies the learning objective. However, we need to set Maya and Ben into speaker 1, speaker 2. Replace, use speaker 1 and speaker 2. Or you can just change it manually, but it will waste a lot of time. Okay, speaker 1, speaker 2. We need it for the AI. So I copy this, and then what you can do is you go to text here, and then you erase this, you paste it. So we have speaker 1, speaker 2. Oh, I need to. Yeah, you cannot have this anyway. Yeah, we need this for the AI. We don't want to do this manually. Okay, so let's go. And again, we change the learning objective. Use a subtle Indonesian accent. So we don't want it to be medok, yeah. We don't want it to be exaggerated. So we have speaker 1, speaker 2, and then after we put it in the text here, let me zoom in. You can go to the composer, and then it will separate between speaker 1 and speaker 2. And then you can choose the voice. So who is speaker 1? Probably the speaker 1 is a...
What idea do you want to bring to life?
Okay, and then speaker 2 is a male, so it's distinct.
What kind of problem could we solve?
Ready to build something awesome today?
So we run control, and then we wait for it.
Excuse me, have you seen our new colleague, Mr. Harris?
I don't think so. What does he look like?
He's quite tall and he has short black hair. He also wears glasses.
What is he wearing today?
He's wearing a light blue shirt, black trousers, and brown shoes.
Is he wearing a jacket?
Yes, he is. He's wearing a dark gray jacket.
Oh, I think I saw him near the reception desk. Is he carrying a black laptop bag?
Yes, that's him.
He's talking to someone near the main entrance.
Great. Thanks for your help.
Okay, let's make some distinction. Okay, speaker 1 is Indonesian, and speaker 2. What do you think? Any ideas? Any ideas in the chat? It's Russian. Cool. Well, let's say we speak with someone in Europe. Okay, let's say Italian. Okay, and so let's run control and let's see the difference.
Excuse me, have you seen our new colleague, Mr. Harris?
I don't think so. What does he look like?
He's quite tall, and he has...
Yeah, it's my connection anyway. But yeah, it works. You can very much experiment with it. It's free, and later on you can find it in my website. Here you can go with this one, generate diverse media. You can click Google AI Studio, or you can just search Google AI Studio. It's very easy to find. Okay, so that's the simple idea. You can design your own lesson these days. Okay, like personalization is just more accessible, becoming more accessible. However, we need a standard. That's why we want to use like learning objectives, so whether it's the GSE, CFR, your curriculum, and so on and so on. Okay, now we know that we can do this. And will publishers, okay, but we have Cambridge books, we have like Pearson products, or a lot of them, okay? Will they survive since teachers can just do a lot of them by themselves? Well, now we're going to see what big institutions, we can say, or giant corporations and organizations in education or universities are currently doing and experimenting with AI. So, well, there are a lot of them I know. You might know like a lot of them that I don't know. But I would like to show you these 4. these are from Trinity College London and Cambridge English. Well, I know Cambridge English is very familiar. I believe that almost everyone in the room knows this one. But Trinity College London is another institution in the UK that provides English learning and English language teaching, products. So these are 4 products that I've been reviewing so far. 2 of them, Speak and Improve, Write and Improve. It's been 6 years now. I remember that Cambridge invited me to review them back in 2020 during the pandemic. Not Lab, Trinity College, and Cambridge lesson plan, it's new. It's probably like 2024, and I also reviewed them. So we're going to see like what they can do. Again, to open a perspective, like, okay, what are the big institutions are doing? Okay, do they just, keep things in conventional or traditionally? I know that a lot of universities, especially in the US and in the UK, they are experimenting with research using AI. They have regulations, they have experiments, and also research on AI, but also with products, especially in English language teaching. Now we're going to first see Not Lab English. So Not Lab English is from the Trinity College London, and it's been a while now. I think again 2024, and I've been invited a few times to review them. Even if you go to their website, you can see my face. And again, it's free. For now, I don't know until when, but it's still free. And it's very easy to use. So I'm going to show like how it works and if it works for you or for us. So you can just create a free account. And there is English teacher, music teacher, because Trinity College London is also a big part of the music industry in the UK. So this is what you will see. Basically, I know, if please say yes in the chat if you are familiar with Diffit, Magic School, Brisk, and other AI tools for teachers. They say yes or no, or maybe quizzes or Kahoot that can create lessons in seconds. Okay, so basically those AI tools that create lessons, they have AI in the background prompted for you. So they have already like template prompt in their back end. I also do coding. So in their back end, so you can just put what you need. So you don't have to create or write a manual prompt. So you see here, what you do with this is that you can generate lessons. You can choose your topic. You can choose your framework, whether you use CFR, ISA, you can choose the level. You can choose the skills that you want to teach, learning type, and so on and so on. Okay, I'll just add as example, workplace meeting. And then I would like to use the CFR this time for B1 level. I want it to be a speaking and listening lesson. The learning type would be communication skills. Go next. So basically, it's just prompting, but guided. So you are actually prompting, but you are guided by questions. Okay, so we have the lesson length. Okay, 60 minutes. Oh, I only have, as example, 5 students. It's business English. My students are above 21. I would like to have pair work and individual work, and then click generate lesson. And then it's loading. Again, this is developed by an institution that is in English language teaching. So to what we know now, to what we can figure, even institutions are experimenting with it. So it's not only all about regulate it. Of course, we need to regulate it, but we need to experiment with it to know what to regulate. Okay, that's the idea. So while we are waiting for this to be cooked by Not Lab English, we're going to move to Cambridge. So Cambridge recently has launched AI Teachers Hub. You will get the link. It's very easy to search, to find on Google or internet. Just search for Cambridge Teachers Hub, and it's free. You can just create an account, and then they have this AI lesson planner. Again, this is developed by the Cambridge University Press, the Cambridge that we know, the Cambridge that sells Cambridge curriculum, the one that creates IELTS and other stuff. Okay, so they are also experimenting with AI, and it's very simple. It's still an experimentation, like I said. It's a research. So you can click create a lesson plan, okay, and then it will ask for your agreement, so on and so on. Click I agree, and then again, this is basically prompting but guided. So you put what the topic, or for example, workplace meeting. It's the same thing. Workplace meeting. And then again, my students are 21 plus, they are at B1 level, and then I would like the lesson to be 60 minutes, and then you will create it. And then they will use their database. Again, this is by Cambridge, and this one is by Trinity College London. Okay, you can experiment with this on your own. I just want to showcase, to open that even out there, they are experimenting with it. Okay, whether we want to know if we are being left behind or if we are in the right path. Okay, and maybe for teachers, let's say if you are not yet ready prompting yourself, you can use this. That's the thing. Now, while we are waiting for Ditsu, because it might take a while, I would like to show you. Oh, it's done. Okay, it's done. Lesson workplace meeting. So we have the lesson plan, lesson objective. We have the resources. We have worksheet on Google Docs. Again, it's free. Okay, free worksheets, nice. Can I use this? Can you use this? You decide. It has presentation. Oh my goodness, it has nice slides according to the lesson. Can I use this? I have to decide. Even, okay, let me show you another lesson that I created with this. For listening skills, if you choose to create listening lesson, they will come with audio. Free. Pak Pras geleng-geleng. Insane.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's lecture on how to understand and participate in lectures effectively. Listening to lectures can be a challenge, but with a few tips, you can become a
just by putting some prompts, guided prompts. Okay. So, okay, now let's take a look at the one from Cambridge, because Cambridge has just started. So this is what you can get from the Cambridge AI lesson planner. So you have a simple lesson plan on the left. It has like worksheet on the right. Okay. It can be a tool to use, or it can be a tool for research. You might want to research like, okay, what does these university or institutions are doing with the AI, and so on and so on, whether it's about ethical, about practice, and so on and so on. Now, let's go back a little bit earlier, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Cambridge has actually developed this speaking AI speaking tool. It's free. It's still in development. I don't think they are actually continuing the development, because since our communication began in 2020, I've never actually had any follow-up. So it's free. You can, or your students can create an account. It's not an app. It's a website. You can access it on your phone. And basically, this guides with prediction score for the Cambridge English test. So the questions or the tasks are similar to the ones that in Cambridge English test or IELTS. For example, they have something like answer questions about yourself. So there will be like,
Where are you from?
and then students can record their voice. I'm from Indonesia, something like that. And then go on, and they will have like prediction score like this, only CFR. Okay, it's free, and there are many questions to choose from. As example, like presentation about this, okay, which is in some English tests. And I cannot say, oh, is it accurate? I don't really know. Okay, it's a good way to experiment, yes. But can we actually rely on it? Not 100%. Okay, it's free. Well, it's a good one to try with your students or with yourself. Yeah. So that is speak and improve. So we have read aloud, for example. You have to students. You will see 8 sentences. You have 10 seconds to read, and then at the end, they will come up with prediction CFR score like this, or some things like, wait, I think answer questions about it. Give advice or something like this. And that's for speaking. They also have developed earlier writing. The name is Write and Improve, so it was Speak and Improve, and now it's Write and Improve. Similar concept. This one is intended mostly for Cambridge. I need to pause. Cambridge English test preparation and also IELTS preparation. It's free with some limitation, but again, it's good for experiment. So as example, if you choose IELTS academic, so it has collections of IELTS questions, something like this. Oh, I have used up my free points. So let me just show you the one that I have tried. So as example, this one, task 1 table shows task 2, okay? And then I pasted my writing and it comes with, IELTS score and then like progress and then some, subtle feedback. I don't actually understand the feedback. Yeah, like it's only like colors, and it has like this because it's IELTS writing task 1, right? And IELTS writing task 2, it has feedback. It has like color coding, like, oh, okay, if it's this color, it means this color, it means that. So it doesn't really provide you with details feedback on what to do. But again, it's good for experiment. There are many other options, not only IELTS, like writing for business and so on and so on. It's been a while. I think 2020. Yeah, it's since 2020. Okay, now to conclude, we would like to keep in mind that these are tools. Tools come and go. We used to be very amazed with Kahoot. We used to be very amazed with quizzes and Google Classroom. We used to be very amazed, oh, YouTube can be a very good resource for learning English. It didn't actually deliver. ChatGPT was very awesome when it first came out. It felt like, oh, my thesis will be done by next month. I will write hundreds of books. I will create products. Never happened. So cool tools come and go. We would like to see how we can adapt, how we can keep ourselves as a human. So to my belief, the best thing that we want to be, the best thing that we want to do in this ever-changing technological development is to be a human. So let's connect. I'm everywhere. You can Google my name. You can ask the AI. Who is Fajaruddin Akbar? I have my own website, which you can, search. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, and I would like to promote our recent report with Pearson. It's free. You can download it. It might be a good reference somehow. While this is not academic research, this is corporate research. We call them report. Okay, so it has app style references, but it's more into corporate style report. And I also wrote 16 lesson plan, 8 actually. The 8 other is a collaboration. 16 lesson plan for English teachers who want to integrate AI into their lesson. And I don't know if Pak Heri is here, but Pak Heri also contributed to this. Pak Heri also contributed to this report. Okay, and another one is coming, and we will have GSA learning objectives integrated with AI objectives, and these are some bonus slides that you can explore. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mas Fajar. That was mind blowing. Okay, and yeah, I think looking back at the walkthrough, Mas Fajar proved today that he is truly a living encyclopedia of edtech tools. Yeah, because he knows a lot about edtech tools. Yeah, I saw some comments in the chat box saying that as a text writer, so I think it's from Pak Widya. I'm feeling insecure as a textbook writer. Yeah, I'm also feeling insecure as a teacher. So probably my job will be replaced by those tools. So that actually what is it? Strikes me a questions, Mas Fajar. So to
Yes.
kick off the Q&A session, yeah, I would like to ask you a question. How can we strike balance between using those tools and using our own intelligence so that we don't lose our ability to think? Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's I don't know, that's a Nick Pichi level question. I don't think I can give a good answer for that. I might be a little bit generalizing into this, but if we look back into how we have experienced technology development and evolutions when we knew the internet, we knew YouTube, I think over time there will be like a shift over how we do things. Okay, let's take at internet. Okay, these days we can just browse anything. Okay, how to cook this, how to cook that. Watch YouTube tutorials on something. However, that's why I said that the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to be human and to do things as a human. Again, this is just my take. I see that as a human over the history, we always try to develop things to outsource our activities or to augment what we do. As example, we develop planners, we develop calendars, we develop apps to augment what we need to remember. Okay. And when it comes to, okay, are we outsourcing our thinking to AI? Are we offloading our cognitive to AI? That might be a case for a lot of people. It doesn't have to be an AI. People have had offloading their things to another thing. We have had so far, even it's a good thing, we have uploaded our memory to notes. We offloaded our memory to books, and so on and so on. It might be a different case. However, I believe somehow there will be a point that we will become bored with this new thing. Just like how we think that YouTube is just something, oh, YouTube, okay. But back in the day, YouTube was amazing. ChatGPT 2 years ago, it was amazing. But we will grow out of it so that we can create something new. That's my optimism. But I think somehow the simple answer from me is there will be a shift on how we do things, and it will also filter like who can adapt and who might need to survive a little bit. Thank you.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. So I like your point. So with everything that is in front of us, I hope that we don't lose our human sense of using those tools and also building the context of our students, right? And then, but it's amazing that you've already shown us. I think it's really amazing. And you also show us a brilliant workflow with the GSE toolkit. I think Mary also addresses that she likes the GSE teacher toolkit. It's very interesting, and I'd love to use it someday when I teach my students. Yeah. Sometimes we don't know when we have the tools, like we have AI, but we don't know what kind of descriptor or what kind of prompting that we need to use when asking AI to produce the materials, right? And then I think this toolkit really help us in helping us with the pedagogical context that we need. Okay. All right. So we would like to address some questions here. So the first one is from Ifai Lotasef. So after students are shown those AI tools and they find them interesting, to what extent can they perform tasks or produce tasks with the help of AI by themselves? And then you mentioned sometimes they work in pairs. Maybe it's interesting, but not easy if they haven't used it before. So would you like to address the question?
True. Totally agree. That's why, in the end of the day, it's not about the tool, on how we use them. Okay, I'll just give a very simple example. I teach English commercially, I must say, because I teach corporate students. And no matter how good an app is, even like sometimes I tell my students, oh, you can just use this AI tool. I provide the prompt for you. You can, every time you need to revise your email or learn the mistakes of your email, you can use this prompt. They always come back to me. Okay. Oh, you can always ask or use this app to search for a new word. But in the end of the day, somehow it turns out asking learners to use tools to learn by themselves is not as easy. So in the end of the day, how we can provide a meaningful learning experience to our students is how we understand the students. How can the students act and react to the tool that they have to use? In another presentation, I said understanding learners is understanding learning. These tools can be awesome. Kahoot is fun. But if I use Kahoot with my student who is 50 years old, I don't think so. Okay, cartoon is great. Children love it. But if I use it in my corporate class, I don't think so. It won't be relevant. So even goes the same with AI. So I would think that before we provide this tool, we need to see if the tool is actually aligned with the objective. Okay. In the end of the day, tool is just a tool. They are products. And according to that, maybe it's interesting, but not easy if they have not used it before. True. Like we have to provide a tutorial in, and the first thing is actually we need to see if it's actually meaningful for them to use. So that's my best answer for now.
Okay, so it depends on the context. All right. So thank you, Mr. Tasef, for your question. And then, so before we move on to the next question, I would like to address some familiar faces in the audience. So, Pak Ade. Okay. All right. And also we have Bu Ivon, Mas Daniel is also here, and Mas Dwi. And yeah, thank you for being here today and all the wonderful teachers who join us. And then next, oh yeah.
Kalau dari 80 ya, beri 80 dikurangi 3. Lalu dikurangi 3.
Sorry,
we have a math class in.
All right, mute Galaxy A26. Okay, so the next question. So I wonder if we use the resources from generated AI tools. Is it okay with the copyright in regards to the possibility to use it as resources of our module? The question is from Tika.
That's a very good question. That's a very, I have to say, important discussion. It's about regulation. Different countries, different region might have different regulations on how a product is generated by AI. Europe has been very early in this. Oh, they have a very comprehensive, complicated regulation on how to use AI. It always give me a headache if I need to present in Europe on how, present to European universities or European organizations, such as the British Council, for example, or even Trinity College London, if it's about AI related. So it would depend on the regulation in context. As example, in Indonesia, and then if we sell the products in Indonesia, we use the products in Indonesia, we have to search for that regulation governed by the law, and of course, law of the country. Okay, and let's say even as example, oh, I will sell this product to another country, so it will might have a different regulations governed by another region, another country. So when it comes to copyright, it will be related to law. So my best suggestion is to see the law in context or the existing law. To what I do so far, because I don't really sell them commercially as a modules, like I use them in a class, that's it. Okay. However, as we know, it can be very tricky. So I don't think I have like clear answer to this, apart from the answer is regulation of the law, in not by the AI.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. And then Ms. Tika also asked a question, a follow-up question. Any suggestion of AI tools that can help us with the placement tests, like for examining the initial level?
I think, oh yeah, I've got this question several times. I think the best placement test is the one that we understand clearly. Well, we have a lot of online free tests these days. Anyway, I put in the chat, it's the EU Europe AI Act. So it's in Indonesia, we say Undang-Undang AI in Europe. I know that I believe this is somehow popular. We have the EFSET. EFSET also uses AI, and it's free. But I believe it's for 16 and up. So it's a free English test. It has listening, reading. It has listening, reading, writing, speaking, and it comes with a free certificate. Well, if the certificate is accepted, well, it depends on where you use it. And I know that we have the British Council English Core. It's a good app. You can actually install it on your mobile phone, Android or iOS, but it doesn't exist in laptop or computer. So they are two good apps that you can try when it comes to testing. But it might only be relevant for high school students and older, because the problem is when it comes to using AI as a placement test, for example, which means the students will use the AI. right? It would be a problem with privacy, ethics, and then how young people use the technology. Okay, so it will in Europe, parents need to sign a consent. You will need to have a consent from each parent, knowing that their children are using AI. So I think I can recommend those two apps, the e-app set and British Council, but I believe they are for high school students and older.
Okay. See, he is like an encyclopedia of an AI tools. All right. There's another question related to particular AI tools to improve translation or interpretation skills. Okay.
Okay. Well, as we know, ChatGPT has been a better translator, or even Gemini has been a better translator than the Google Translate itself. However, I think the challenge is not about how the tools react to translation, but how we, especially we are people in linguistics, understand that language works differently, not only word to word translation, but as we know, AI, they don't have feelings, they don't have sympathy, they don't understand culture. So the problem would be in those translations is how between language, the linguistic between those translated language is the culture of or the function of the expressions. They might find the equivalent of the expressions, but maybe not in that context of cultural communication. So I've never actually, and unfortunately, I don't deep dive into that context of translation. But I believe as people in linguistics, we understand translation is not only about words to words, but how culture also being involved into the communication. And as we know, robots, they don't understand that. They don't actually have understand.
Okay. Yeah, I think we already know about the AI black box theory. Yeah. Where we actually don't know who is behind AI. So it's just a machine with statistical big data. So we cannot trust them 100%, right? And then there is another question from the head of the study program. Yes. I believe that writing a good and smart objective, learning objective, is an important skill for teachers. Yeah, I agree. So specifically, if we believe in backward design principle, if the learning objective have been prepared for them by AI, do we still need to teach this skill? Is this skill still relevant and important? How we go about teaching this skill with the help of AI. So that's why at first I say that I'm worried that my job will be replaced by AI.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Your
a good one.
response, Mas Fajar?
But well, it would be okay. Generalization, like, do we need to know that 1 + 1 is 2 if we have a calculator for it? So the thing is that we have to be the best judge of what the AI is doing somehow. So in my latest presentation with Pearson, what we want to assess now is judgment. We need to have a sense of judgment. And in order to have sense of judgment, we have to have a cognition. And we have to, in order to have a cognition, we have to have knowledge. Okay, now we have learning objectives provided by the GSA, provided by the CFR. Today, we experimented with it, right? I decided that I will use this learning objective. I could decide that the learning objectives is useful because I know it's useful. Other people might not. Okay, if I ask my students, oh, you can just, I will just tell my students as example, you can just search your learning objectives. What is learning objectives? They said. Okay, so we want to have a good sense of judgment, and especially let's say in English education, even though we have this tool, lesson planner by Cambridge, lesson planner by Trinity College London, or maybe next year Oxford will also experiment with it. Well, these teachers, candidates, these pre-service teachers need to have a sense of judgment of whether the lesson is useful. We need to know that 1 + 1 is 2 in order to know the calculator is working correctly, right? And so those need to teach this skill Of course, totally, because in order to know that skill works, is that because we know the skills. In my opinion, I might be very general or generic about this. It is skill relevant and important. I would think so. I would think that even though it's very easy to get products, that might be the point. It's very easy to get product. It's very easy to get listening script. It's very easy to get reading text example. However, how could we know that if the reading text is useful, if the listening script is useful, if we don't have that sense of judgment of what is useful or what is good? Teaching this skill with the help of AI, I would say so. Well, to be honest, I'm a bit I feel guilty sometimes over advocating for technology, because sometimes it feels like we need to follow technology. It feels like that, oh, because there is the technology. Well, if my learners who want to have a conversation with me, why do I need to use ChatGPT for it? For example, let's say. So I would really want to generalize these AI tools to be included in the category of call, talk, tell, mall, and others. To be honest, this is just another tools on your phone, another website on the internet. We have had this discussion for more than 2 decades, computer assisted language learning, and so on and so on. That's my optimism. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mas Fajar, for your answer. Yeah, this is actually related to what I've been diving deep into through my own pilot study recently in Sanata Dharma University. Building on that concern, yeah, about the cognitive offloading, because a lot of pre-service teachers now are using AI without the ability without sharpening their own ability to understand the pedagogical knowledge, right? So I think it's going to be, what is it? Dangerous if they don't sharpen their own pedagogical knowledge before teaching it to others, right? So I think people need to deeply understand Schulman's model of pedagogical reasoning. Yeah, it's long theory. It's old theory, but I think it's still relevant until now. And then we still have another question from Philo. Which university is this? Which organization? Don't worry, Tasef, Mr. Tasef. We would like to introduce the university, okay, after this. There's a special session for that. Okay. Okay. Is there any other question? Okay. All right. So I think we've been having a very good conversation on those tools. Yeah, thank you very much, Mas Fajar, for introducing us a lot of educational technology tools that we can use to sharpen our skills in using AI, and also implementing pedagogical knowledge while trying to understand the descriptor of a special, specific standard like CEFR or GSE. Thank you so much for that. And then now we would like to continue our session, okay? Since Mr. Tasef is asking about the organization, which university is this? Okay, so this is the time, okay? So I would like to share my slide again. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay. All right. So I want to take a moment to share something relevant to everyone else. So this webinar is brought to you by Kajian Bahasa Inggris or English Language Studies, Sanata Dharma University in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. And then they are celebrating their 25th anniversary, okay, by having this webinar. And then also I want to give a quick shout out to one of our own stellar alumni, Mr. Daniel Ariwidiatama, who give testimonial here. So I'm a proud alumni of this program myself, and it shaped me a lot of how I think about English language teaching and research today. And I'm also an alumni myself. And yeah, I think I agree with what Mr. Daniel has mentioned here. Okay. And then I also would like to invite the head of the English Language Studies at Universitas Sanata Dharma, Dr. Hardi Prasetyo, as we all affectionately known him, Pak Pras. Pak Pras, thank you for joining us today. We're looking at this fantastic slide, and could you please tell us about the program and this new exciting opportunity?
Okay, thank you very much, Bhumika. I call her Bhumika. Usually I call her just Mika, but now I call her Bhumika, or soon to be Dr. Mika, or Professor Mika, perhaps. I mean, yes, so this is an exciting news for those who are exclusively or alumni of Universitas Sanata Dharma or Sanata Dharma University. If you apply for your graduate program or your if you want to continue your study in a graduate program, then there will be a 50% discount for how do you say it in uang kuliah tetap and the credit, yeah, so 50%. So for the period of 4 semesters. So that's exciting, and I think this program or this discount program will not last long. So you better take it as soon as possible. Grab
Okay.
the chance. Carpe diem, seize the day. Yeah,
Okay.
things like that.
Is it because of 77 Pak Pras? 77 twin dates? Ya, kembar ya.
Yeah.
Today is 7th July, so we usually in Indonesia we always have a lot of online promotion, yeah, for a big
Oh, yeah.
discount.
Like like Shopee 77 all
Yeah,
that.
7-7, yeah. Okay, so this is the best time for you to apply, yeah, after listening to our conversation. And then if you think that this is the time for you to continue more serious about what is it, language education, and then this is the time for you to apply in KBI or English Language Studies. Okay.
Yeah. And what is special about our program is that we provided three streams. Yeah, so applied linguistics, and then literature, and then this is a new stream right now, applied AI in language studies. So we will challenge, we will questions, we will provide you with more questions in that instead of answers because yeah, the answers are tentative. I mean, it really depends on the context. And then we would like to challenge you. Yes, the tools are available out there, but how we go about using those tools? How do you empower your students to use the tools? How do you empower yourself? And
Mhm.
Pa Risang and I have actually prepared a series of workshop since last year, but we don't have time to do it. But this is a good moment. And I think Pa Fajar will be invited in our workshop series again and again and again. So please, Pa Fajar, don't get bored with us. And Bhumika as well will be invited in this series of workshop. We I teach ethics and equity in AI-driven education because it's important. I believe that you are, as a language educator, you are as a headmaster, you are as perhaps me as the head of the graduate program. You will be involved in writing ethics in AI ethically. So yeah, we will discuss this more in in ethics and equity in AI-driven education, and also AI in second language acquisition research, advanced AI in application in language education, We'll talk more about the tools. We'll discuss more about the tools that we discussed, but we don't stop there. Yeah. We also try to perhaps, I don't know, create tools that are suitable for your teaching context, for your learning context, so that you will be not just consumers of AI, not just becoming like victimized of this very rapid development, but you are taking control. You are not just autopilot, but you are co-pilot. You work together with AI to help your students. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all. And we are now in the process of revising our curriculum. So it's it's now KBIBT, ya, Kajian Bahasa Inggris Berbasis Teknologi. So technology is we cannot avoid it. It's part of our life. So it's we are looking forward to improving and make our curriculum more relevant to the needs of our students.
Mhm.
Thank you, Meka. Who Meka?
Okay. All right. Okay, so Pak Pras, I think this new applied AI stream sounds amazing, and I think it's very relevant to today's conversation with Mas Fajar as well. Okay, so for those who choose the AI stream, what kind of modern career path or jobs will this open up for them after they graduate?
I'm thinking of Mas Fajar as an example.
Mm-hmm.
He
Okay.
is he is everywhere,
Yeah.
and he is promoting AI tools, but be wise with it. So we are not consumed by AI. You become the master for. I mean, you can wisely and ethically choose AI that are most suitable for your learning, for your life, things like that. So that's what I have in mind. If you do research, if you do teaching, if you do community service with AI, you use it wisely and ethically. Yeah. So whatever your position, whatever your responsibility, teacher, headmaster, researcher, you are so eloquent, you are so masterful in using AI ethically and wisely. So that's what I have in mind. And then I think we have one perfect example here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would like to introduce the faculty lineup as well. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we see a lot of familiar faces on this slide. So maybe if you are an alumni, and then please tell me who is your favorite. Okay. And then, Pak Pras, I would like to ask you. So, how would you describe the general vibe or relationship between the KBI lecturers and the students? Are they very approachable?
Well, I'm afraid I will not do enough justice because I joined KPI only for the last 2 years. But during the preparation for this what do you call it? This Puncak Dies, um, the way we make jokes, the way we laugh during our meetings, Pak Daniel, and then Mas Widya and so on. I'm afraid that there is no there is no gap between students and teacher. I mean, we can crack jokes with them freely, but still there is respect. But I believe that they are very approachable,
Mhm.
and they are easily contacted by WA. So as Mary, one of the our graduates, fresh graduates here, um, what time she contacted me and what time I contacted her through AI. So I think this is a very good atmosphere to study, because we pay attention also to your well-being. We pay attention to your we call it kewarasan, yeah, your wellness, because that's the most important thing. 2 years as a graduate student is tough because you have like weekly responses. You have to read two articles, three articles, articles, one book chapter every week from one course. Well, in fact, in one semester, we have 5 courses. Imagine that you have to do it. And for those who are teaching or for those who have a teaching career, that's tough. So we pay attention also to your wellness. Yeah. Just like Dumbledore said in Hogwarts, the help is available here. So I would like to say the same thing. The help is always available here. Financially, yeah, okay, financially, but more mentally and academic, yeah, things like that. Okay.
Okay. Right. The help is available. Okay. And Mary is writing something in the chat box. The lecturers are very approachable and super kind. Yeah. And because they are graduated from all over the world, yeah, some of them are graduated from Australia, the US, Singapore, and I believe that you will get a lot of exposure to global perspectives in class, right, Pak Pras? Okay. And then talking.
Yes, and bring yeah, we also bring our own perspective. I am more like a quantitative person because my expertise is assessment. Some of the lectures are more qualitative, so it's we have approach, I think.
Okay. All right. So that's amazing. Okay. And then we have a big celebration this Thursday on July 9th. Is this event open to public, Pak Pras?
Yes, of course. If you are interested to know more about us, our program, so let's please, you are welcome to attend. You are welcome to celebrate our journeys. Yeah. So our graduates are working in every part of life. They are teachers, language educators, headmasters, book writers, just we just mentioned, even musicians. So we will celebrate all those achievements, all those journeys in this program. So please welcome, please come. And we also have some interesting door prizes, things like that. So yeah, please do come.
Okay. So please come celebrate together, yeah, this Thursday. And to wrap up, Pak Pras, just one word. How would you describe the feeling of KBI reaching this amazing 25-year milestone? What is that one word?
Oh, that's a very tough question. One word is not enough, but I would say um, this for several days, working with alumni, preparing this special occasion, one word that describe it all is compassion. Compassion is what I see from the alumni. They love their home, they love their kandang, they love their alma mater very much. So they pour their energy, their love, their spirit, their enthusiasm to this very what do you call it, to their this institution. So I cannot say nothing but thank you very much for your all your attention. Um, what we can do right now is to identify the alumni's strength, things like that, so that we can make the good use of them. I mean, we can ask them to contribute to the greater glory of society. Open-minded, well-informed about AI or anything. So let's do this together. Let's collaborate. Let's synergize our efforts so that we can build a better community, less corrupt community, more civilized community. Something that is one of my dreams. Thank you.
Okay.
Or KBA stream. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Pras. And then there's a follow-up question from Mr. Tasef. I think he's very interested in joining the program, Pak Pras. Is the program also offered online?
Wow, that's a very tough questions. Yeah. How do we say it? We can discuss this actually, but we have one student who will be taking the course online. She will be studying from Lampung, but we will still require her to come to our graduate program from time to time. So during orientation, during final exams, during mid-semester exams, because we believe in the process, we believe in the face-to-face meeting. It is still important because yeah. So that's one of our key principle as well. So face-to-face meeting, in our opinion, cannot be replaced by online or Zoom meeting. Yeah, it's different experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're looking forward to meet you, Mr. Tasef, in Yogyakarta. Yeah, Pak Pras. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. So finally, we are reaching the end of this session, this webinar. So so I think Pak Pras has already covered this. So if you want to know more about our program, you can go to Instagram and then you can type S2 underscore KBI or KBI underscore official. Okay. Or you can also or you can just screenshot this slide. Yeah, it's easier. Okay. And then next, to get your digital certificate, don't forget to complete or to fill this exit ticket, and then the digital certificate will be sent to your email. Okay. So I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for your participation. And it's been a very nice conversation. Thank you very much, Mas Fajar, for sharing all of your knowledge about educational technology. That was wonderful. Thank you, Pak Pras, for having this webinar. It's very insightful. And then we're looking forward to have more webinars like this. Okay. Thank you all. Good night.
Foto dulu nggak nih?
Oh, okay. Boleh.
Oh
Monggo.
yes, I think yeah,
Covernya.
okay, boleh.
Okay, don't leave the room.
Don't leave the
Bapak
room
Ibu.
and please open your camera. We
Yeah.
have a photo session.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I'll help to capture the screen, yeah. Page one. 1, 2, 3. Show me your best smile. Okay, one more time. Still page one. 1, 2, 3. Page two. 1, 2, 3. Page 3. We have 20 pages. 1, 2. Nah, baru senyum ya. Okay, back to you, Mbak Mega.
Okay. Okay, so it's really exciting to see some familiar faces. Hello all, and looking forward to meet you offline on Thursday, right? Okay. Bye everyone. Good night.
Alright.
Bye.
You take care. Thank you for coming.